Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Disney Plus series, The Muppets Mayhem. And I'm assuming it's season one. So let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. If you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well, including this podcast. This is now a podcast on YouTube Music, so you can actually listen to me. You can also watch me, however you want to do it. Hey, Marks, how's it going? So, as I said, spoiler-free version first. So, really, what this is about is Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, the band, from the Muppet Show, and it's all about them. That's really what it's all about. And they are a band that's been on tour since they started, really, and they've never done an album. And this is the story of their first album being made. That's really what it is in a nutshell, and all the zany Muppet stuff that happens. Now, if you are a fan of the Muppet Show, grew up with it or found it later on, millennials, all that kind of stuff. Um, and you like that kind of humor. I mean, Jim Henson had a certain, as I always put it with the Muppets, it was kind of a hippie-esque quality that was endearing. And you can never recapture that so really well. I mean, Jason Segel did a really good job in the Muppets movie that he did a few years ago. Uh, but I never really, found it since then. Um, the show that they did for Disney Plus, where they were supposed to be like an online show, and it just really sucked. It wasn't good, and it disappeared. This one actually captures that magic, if you will, and has that feeling, if you will. This is, and without giving anything away, it feels like the Muppet Show. We don't have Kermit, we don't have Fozzie, we don't have Miss Piggy, we don't have any of them. It's Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, and it's about their lives. Um, well, I should say, where they're at now, and then also we kind of find out about them, so it kind of fills in their backstory. Um, and again, I'm not giving anything away because there's just so much that happens. There are so many cameos. Again, this is a music world, Muppet story. So of course, there's a lot of musicians that make cameos in this movie, and a lot of jokes too. It's written. I should say the showrunner is Dan Goldberg, who of course did the Goldbergs, if you will, and also I forgot he wrote one of my favorite movies called Fanboys. So yeah, he is the showrunner behind all of this, and uh, it's really good. It's actually one of my favorite things I've seen in a long time. So it you'll burn through the 8 episodes fairly quickly. It's a good show. Is it 9 episodes? It might be 9 episodes. I can't remember offhand. I all of a sudden blanking on it. I don't know why, but I am. Let me actually take a quick peek because, like I said, I can't really remember offhand. 10 episodes. I take that back. 10 episodes. There we go. So you'll burn through the 10 episodes fairly quickly. I did in a weekend. So really good stuff. It's worth your time. Take a look at it. It's a lot of fun. Um, yeah, it's a good time, and you can actually, sit there with the kids. And again, this is like old Muppet stuff where it was done for kids, but it hits adults squarely in the eyes as well in the head. And it makes you feel that it's not nostalgic either. It doesn't do that false nostalgia stuff that has been so popular lately. This actually brings about its own songs. Because I mean, again, we don't really know that much about the Mayhem as it is, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. So this is fresh because they could actually build on characters that we think we know, but we really don't. So there you go. So yes, it is worth your time. Go and take a look at it. It's a lot of fun. Now, we'll get into the spoiler portion. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the series. If you haven't seen the first season here, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. There we go. All right. CBM says, so family show where all members can watch. Yes. Uh, except for Animal, not much about the band. No, there was actually quite a bit about the band. Morks. So, Morks was alluding to, we find out about Animal's past a bit. We find out about Sergeant Floyd Pepper's past. We find out about Dr. Teeth's past, what's going on with him. We find out about Janice. Janice has a twin. I mean, who knew she had a twin? We find out that Lips is very connected in the music industry. All he has to do is call people up and they come. And Zoot is very disconnected from everything. Zoot, of course, the saxophone player, and very disconnected from everything. And yeah, um, so this whole thing of a woman who works at a failing, or I should say, a record producer that is on their way out, essentially, like most record producers, unless you're rolling with the big stars, the top 10 there, you're not really making all that much money. So she's a secretary there. Literally, that's all she's running the front desk, and she poses as a record executive because she finds out that the Electric Mayhem owe them an album, and they never did. They got paid to make an album, they never made that album. And so she works with them in order to get that album made, and finds out just how chaotic they actually are. Along with their top fan who follows them all over the place. Moog is his name. And um, all this craziness results from all of this, and it's good craziness. It's a lot of fun. It's really worth it, quite honestly, if you're a fan of the Muppets. And I am. I mean, Animal is one of my favorite characters out of the Muppets. I think I've stated this before. I actually used to have a animal hand puppet, life-size animal hand puppet, complete with the eyebrows that used to move. You did that little thing, and the eyebrows would come down, and the eyes. It was pretty funny. So the Furshurians, for sure. Um, it honestly, it just everything hits so well. And by the way, if you're gonna be watching this, stay to the end of the credits. The end of the credits, there's a little tiny, like maybe 15-second thing of Zoot taking pictures with this Polaroid. And it's really stupid stuff for the most part, but it's kind of funny too. I mean, like I said, it's like 10 or 15 seconds of him taking a picture of you at the camera there, and weird stuff happens each time. It's worth it. It's worth going through and taking a look at it. I also like before the opening credits, they always have a little scene that's right before the opening credits. And of course, they do the opening credits and get into the story. There was one that made me kind of laugh really hard, which was they're all sitting in the van and they're driving along, and they're singing "Old Susanna." Um, oh, what else? John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. They're singing all these like old campfire kind of tunes, basically stuff that is free royalties. You don't need to pay anything to do these songs. And then Dr. Teeth goes, "I know. What does everyone want to sing next?" And animals in the background, Hendrix, and Stairway to Heaven, and everyone's mentioned all these, Beatles and all these different songs. And Dr. Teeth looks, they're talking to each other in the van. He goes, "Well, we could sing any of those songs in the freedom of our own van because we can. It's free, and we could do that. And I think we should do that." And then, of course, it cuts to the credits, the opening credits, which is fucking hilarious, quite honestly, just to show you that those are the estates that would not work with them. Well, of course, it's Disney. I mean, Disney has a lot of fucking money. They should be able to pay the rights for some music, and they did for some of these songs. But Yeah, that was just hilarious. It really was. I really did like that. And again, that's that sarcasm, that little biting humor that Henson used to have in his stuff. And that's what I liked about this show. This show actually did a really good job of that. Used to have a lot. No, they still have a lot of money works. They do. Considering that they're actually talking about expanding in Anaheim right now, like by a lot in Anaheim, and they're going to get it most likely. So, yeah, there's little stuff going on. If you watch the news, you can see it. Um, and yes, Marks, going back to your statement, I love Statler and Wardolph as yes, Wardorf as well. The two old guys. Um, they are a lot of fun, and actually, they do make a little appearance. They're the only ones from the Muppet Show that actually make an appearance. So that's true. So yes, this is a fun show. This is definitely worth your time. This hit all the right notes, both figuratively and literally. And all of this, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. This was something that, yeah, it gave me the feels, if you will. So yeah, I thought it was good. So and again, animal. I'm loving the stuff. The marshmallow. Oh my god, the marshmallow scene where they eat like marshmallows that expired 30 years ago, and they're out in the desert and fucking tripping balls. Uh Hilarious. Just some hilarious shit. So um yeah, good stuff. And again, like I said with Lips is the horn player, and he mumbles all the time. Every now and then you get some, coherent words that come out, but him being the one that knew every celebrity, and had them on their phone on his phone, he would call them up, and at one point she's trying to get the record executive is trying to get Paul McCartney from the Beatles to come in, and of course, he's misunderstanding who she's talking about. So it's everybody except for Paul McCartney that's coming in. Like Paula Abdul comes in. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of funny. And of course, they're not going to get Paul McCartney on this show. I mean, maybe they might for season two. Who knows? I mean, but yeah, I mean, if it's well received, this was not heavily advertised either. This show, it really should have been. This is this should have been probably as promoted as much as one of the Marvel shows, quite honestly. That's how good it is. It actually is worth taking some time out and watching this. It's just fun. It really is. So um the music, eh, there's some good stuff in there. There's not a lot of music. There is a lot of music in there, but there's not a lot of great music in there. And of course, it's because the royalties. They don't want to have to pay through the nose for the royalties. So of course, they're not getting a whole bunch of songs in there. And of course, since I'm up there in years now, I don't recognize a lot of the newer music that's out there. So I saw, Dead Mouse 5, the guy with the big mouse head that he wears. I knew who he was. But then there was some guy who had his own studio that I had no idea who the fuck he was. I knew who Keisha was, only because she's been in the news other more so than her music. So I knew who that was. But yeah, there's others in there that I was just like, huh, okay, it's somebody in music. Got it. So yeah. But you youngins will like it as well. So go out and watch it. Stream it, if you got it. So, with that said, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, not a lot. I'm still, doing stuff for the move and all that stuff. So, and also I've got a trip to Disneyland that's going on next week too. So, oh yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. So I'm gonna be off until Sunday. Sunday will be another episode, either of Spoiler Alert or Is It Worth My Time. Last time around, it was Spoiler Alert mixed with Is It Worth My Time. So, fuck no, Morks. I'm not even buying anything that comes out of Florida, Texas, any of those southern states. They can go choke on a bag of dicks. So yeah, nope, not doing that at all. Thank you very much. So yes, Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And we talk about it, and there we go. Yeah. No, man, because then I have to actually spend money there, and I don't want any money going to that state whatsoever. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, best thing to do is take a look over at suspendedfanimation.com. That's what I have the schedule up there when I change it out, because I just changed it out today. Yes, I know. So, thanks everyone. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think that'll be a good stopping place there. And again, like I said, this is now a podcast. I'm out there on, well, YouTube Music. So if you're on YouTube Music, you can actually take a look at it, or you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at, well, the schedule is there. Also, all the upcoming stuff that's coming up. I update that as well, like future stuff that's coming out. And you'll also see all the links to my social media there. So I have my Facebook page up there. I have my Twitter, my Instagram. I've got, my YouTube music link that's there as well. So if you want to see that, so that's all there at suspendedfanimation.com. And if you're still on the fence about subscribing, you know who you are out there. Take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible, from all the all the videos in my vast video library. It's over 1,000 videos now. I'm close to, I think it's 1,060 now, somewhere around there. That's where I'm at. So take a look at the video that's up there. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up having a ancient rock band come over and crash in your place and throw wild parties, and it's just all kinds of weirdness. And they're all made of felt for some reason. It's kind of weird. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Stay safe, be well, take care, and have a good rest of your night. Thanks, everyone. Good night.